So what is up, guys? Suda the Savage back, and for the final time this season, it is the final prediction video. This is the Super Bowl 55 prop bet predictions. I got both my prop sheets from Sports Betting Dime. Of course, there's one for the casual fan, and then there's one for the hardcore fan. I'm going to be answering all the questions on these. Now, many of them are repeats. Both sheets have their own set that actually repeat each other, so it's not as many questions as you think. But anyways, got a lot of predictions to get to, so without further ado, let's get this video started. Alright, so starting out with the very first prop bet. So I'm going to start off with the casual fans, then go around with the hardcore fans. So first, starting off, we have the very first prop bet, which is a very common one on most prop bet sheets, length of the national anthem. So this year it's going to be sung by Eric Church and Jasmine Sullivan. I have no idea who either are. So this is what it is. It's time for the anthem. It's over or under 119.5 seconds. Now, the reason why, a lot of these you're going to be hearing, halves, it's because they're not going to put a whole obtainable value that you can actually get on there because they want to have it as a half. They want it to have so you can be perfectly over or under. Say if it was, 3, and you said, an over or under, and it was actually 3. So, you don't know what you get from that. So, time for the national anthem. It's been the first time in a while since there's been a duet that's actually had to sing the national anthem. So, usually it's going to be under when it comes to national anthems, but this year I'm going to go with that over. Question number 2 is, will any scoring drive take less time than the national anthem? Now, of course, that's a tough question because we don't know how long the anthem's going to last. Now, since I'm saying it's going over 2 minutes, I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to say yes to this question only because mainly the Kansas City Chiefs, one of the main things that they are so good at is quick scores. And they can erase 24-0 deficits like this. It took them 10 minutes last year to erase a 24-0 deficit against the Houston Texans. Down by 10 with 6 minutes to go against the 49ers. They erased that lead like it was nothing. The Chiefs, they can score at will. The Buccaneers, they don't quite score at will, but, I do think that scoring drive will take less time than the national anthem. Then there comes which quarterback will be shown first, Mahomes or Brady. Now, this one is a complete 50-50 shot. Now, do you show the new young star or do you show the old veteran? But yeah, I'm going to give this one to Brady. And just to get into some narratives for the Super Bowl, what this is of course, this could ultimately decide who the GOAT is because, later in the future, this Super Bowl could be the deciding factor, as if Brady wins this, he's the unanimous GOAT. You can't fight against that. 7 rings, took down Mahomes, he's been through it all. But if Mahomes wins this, in the long run, I think it could lead to him being the GOAT. Now, of course, if he wins the Super Bowl, Brady's still the GOAT. But in the future, this will definitely be an asset towards Patrick Mahomes. Then, what will the first word of Amanda Gorman's poem be? Now, I did not know this until recently that Amanda Gorman would be reading a poem before the Super Bowl. Now, I don't really know who Amanda Gorman is, so I'm just going to give this one to other. The options are super, pandemic, hero, and other, so I'm just going to give that other. And then, of course, over under 5.5 million Instagram followers. Now, I actually checked, and currently she's at 3.5 million, so I don't think she's going to get over that 5 million by halftime. So I'm going to give that one a solid under. And then, of course, the most talked about, or the biggest 50-50 outcome, the coin toss, heads or tails. There really is no science behind it. You could look at odds. I think tails has kind of been the favorite, but you know what? I'm going to give this one heads. If most of the time I think I go, it's usually tails. It's been tails for the past few years. This time I'd like to play the odds. I'm going to say it's going to be heads. Alright, so moving on to the very next set of questions. Now we have which team's head coach will be shown first after kickoff. Now I'm going to say this one goes to Kansas City. Now here's the thing. What I think this really means is right after kickoff, they're going to show the head coach. The first head coach that they will show will be the team who has to play offense first. So I'm going to say the Chiefs are going to be in that spot because the Bucs, they're going to win the toss, but they're going to elect to defer. So Kansas City, they get the ball, and they're going to show Andy Reid with either his mask or his face shield, reading his playbook, dreaming of cheeseburgers. I'm just kidding. I love you, Andy Reid. You're one of my personal favorite head coaches. I'm so happy that you got your Super Bowl win last year. Can you run it back? I think you could, but anyways, but basically this question really comes down to who gets the ball first. That's really it. Then we have which team will score first, and I'm going to give that to the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to say that they score right on the opening drive. What will the first score of the game be? Touchdown, field goal, or safety? Now, most of the time, it's going to either be a touchdown or a field goal. There's only been 3 times in NFL history where the first score of the Super Bowl was a safety. Super Bowl 48 with the Peyton Manning, the illegal motion, snap goes over his shoulder, Legion of Boom calls it up for a safety, first play of the game. Another time there was a safety was Super Bowl 46, Giants-Patriots. Brady, he's in his own end zone, takes an intentional grounding, and they call it a safety. And I don't know what the other time was, so yeah. Anyways, but in all seriousness, though, I think it's going to be a touchdown. I'll get to that later because that's going to be on the hardcore side of the sheet. Next question is, will the game be tied again after 0-0? Now, in my opinion, this is going to be a back and forth affair. Like, both these teams, they have okay defenses. Like, actually, no, they're pretty solid defenses. But their offenses are going to be the real showstopper. Mahomes, Edwards-Helaire, Bell, Hardman, Hill, Watkins, Kelsey versus Brady, Rojo, Leonard Fournette, Evans, Scotty Miller, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, Gronk, Cameron Brate. Like, this is going to be an offensive showdown. But yes, I do think it's going to be tied again after 0-0. And the very next question is, will there be a penalty call in the first quarter? It's football. You're going to see a lot of penalties taken. Now, to be honest, if these teams are going to be going with like a run-first attack, which probably won't be it because both these teams are going to be relying way more on the pass. So, honestly, there will be a penalty call in the first quarter. It could be anything. It could be a pass interference, an offside. I'm going to say it's going to be a pass interference. It's going to be a defensive pass interference on Antoine Winfield. That's going to be my prediction. Hopefully I get that one right. Anyways, over under 2.5 players to attempt a pass. Now, I think what they mean by this is players that are not quarterbacks. So, usually, if this was like the Browns in the Super Bowl, then I'd maybe say yes, because Jarvis Landry, he's going to attempt a pass. I guarantee it. But both these teams, even though they are offensive machines, I don't really see them as teams that will really try to have, like, extreme plays where they have their, like, wide receivers or running backs throw the ball. I know that the Chiefs attempted this earlier in the season. Sammy Watkins to Patrick Mahomes, but the Falcons picked that right off. So honestly, I don't see this happening. I'm going to say that's going to be an under. Who will be leading at halftime? I'm actually going to give this one to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to say that they go up by a score of 21-14 going into halftime. And the final question before I go into the big section, which is halftime, which quarter will be the highest scoring quarter? I'm going to give that one right to the fourth quarter. Like, the thing about Tom Brady in the Super Bowl is that I think I found this fact. I mean, I did find this fact, but apparently in all 9 Super Bowls he's been to, he's only scored a total of 3 points in the first quarter. And I'm pretty sure that was Super Bowl 52 with a Stephen Gostkowski field goal. So, yeah, but like, actually no, when I think of this logic, you know what, no, I'm still going to give it to the fourth quarter because I'm going to say that's really when the Chiefs put it all together. They're going to completely explode and just ravage and take over this game. So yeah, give me the fourth quarter as the highest scoring quarter. And now you have our very next part of the prop bet sheet. Now this is the halftime show. Now there are a lot of questions relating to halftime, so yeah, let's get to it. So the first question is, will The Weeknd be wearing sunglasses when first seen? If you didn't know, The Weeknd, he's going to be performing this year's halftime show. Honestly, low-key hype for it. I enjoy The Weeknd. You know, they're not my favorite, but I vibe to them every now and then. Will he be wearing sunglasses when first seen? Yeah, it's iconic to see The Weeknd wearing sunglasses. It's even iconic to see him not wear it. But I'm going to say yes, he's going to be wearing it. Next question is, what color jacket will The Weeknd be wearing when first seen? They give you the options black, red, purple, white, blue, and other. Now, honestly, this could be anything. Honestly, I'm leaning a little bit towards black and red. You know what? I'm actually going to give this one to red. You know, it's the iconic jacket that he was wearing during Blinding Lights, the music video. So I could definitely see him rocking the red sweater the whole time. Now, honestly, apparently, the Weeknd has put $7 million into the Super Bowl halftime show. So he's going all out. He better not let me down. He better not let me down like how Maroon 5 did in Super Bowl 53. I mean, honestly, everything about Super Bowl 53 was an absolute bust. Question number 17. What song will The Weeknd perform first? This is Blinding Lights, Save Your Tears, Pray For Me, Can't Feel My Face, or Other. Now, even though I listen to The Weeknd every now and then, I'm not really exactly an expert on them. So I'm just going to give this one to Other, because the next question is, what song will The Weeknd be performing last? They're going to perform Blinding Lights last. This is like the one song, this is like the perfect song that you finish off on. I think you finish off on your most like recent / iconic song. We saw that with Shakira last year as she finished off with Waka Waka. We saw that with Justin Timberlake in Super Bowl 52 when he finished off with Can't Stop the Feeling. Lady Gaga, I think she did... I think she did Bad Romance to finish it off. I don't know. I haven't watched that in a while, but Blinding Lights, you can literally watch commercial leading up to the Super Bowl. I've literally heard Blinding Lights at least like hundreds of times with all the football I've been watching for the playoffs. It's literally the one song I keep hearing, so I'm going to say that's what he's going to finish it off on. And then the final question for halftime, will Drake, Doja Cat, or Ariana Grande appear with The Weeknd? Nah, honestly, I don't think so. If he's investing $7 million into this, I think he's going to want to make this a one-man show. But now that I think about it, you know, if he's investing this much money, he wants to have this be an absolute banger, so he could be including some big stars in this. But you know what? I'm just going to say no. He's going to be the headline. And honestly, I can't wait to see it. Alright, and on to the very last part of the casual fan side of the sheet. Question number 20, over/under times Gisele Bündchen is shown. If you don't know who she is, it's Tom Brady's wife. It's 1.5. So honestly, I'm going to say over, because they're going to flash over towards like families. If it's like the Chiefs, they're going to be flashing over to Brittany Lynn, Jackson Mahomes. They'll definitely flash over to Gisele multiple times in the box. Very next question is, will the team that scores last win the game? Yeah, I'm going to say yes. I think it's going to end with a Harrison Butker 48-yard field goal. I think that's going to be the dagger. That's going to be what ends off the game, and that's going to be the final score. So, yeah. Team that scores last will win the game, and of course with that, you know who I'm saying. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. Honestly, I'm going with them. I think right now they're the best team in football. Like, it's so hard to stop this team. Now, to be honest, there's many keys to victory, but there's three main things that you got to do if you want to beat the Chiefs. Number one, score. Score / keep up with them offensively. Like the Chiefs, they got to be scoring. You got to be scoring at the same time. You know, you got to be able to keep up with them on offense. If they start to pull away on offense, it's over. Like you're not going to be able to catch up. Key number two, if they're making mistakes, you have to suffocate them on that. You have to score at will. We saw it where once they start to screw up, we saw it against, like, a good example would be the Raiders versus Chiefs in, like, Week 5 this year. What the Raiders did is they kept up with them offensively, and Patrick Mahomes, he threw one pick in the game, and the Raiders, the game was tied at that point, the Raiders used that to take the lead, and they were able to keep the lead. So that is what I mean by be able to smother them whenever they make a mistake, because you got to take advantage of that, because you're not going to get many chances. On the third, be smart and don't let your foot off the gas. Good example is the Houston Texans in the divisional round last year. They took their foot off the gas after going up 24-0, and they ended up losing 51-31. So the second you take your foot off the gas when the Chiefs are down, give up. It's over. Like you're not going to win. And key to beating the Buccaneers, honestly, I don't know. It's kind of just honestly, don't play it smart and don't turn the ball over. Something that they've done very well at this postseason is scoring right when you make a mistake. Against the football team, they got one turnover and they immediately turned that into a touchdown. Against the Saints, they forced 4 turnovers. 3 of them went for touchdowns. The final one they just used to run out the clock. And against the Packers, they turned the ball over twice, and immediately after the Bucs would score. So honestly, that's the thing. Do not make any mistakes against the Bucs. you make that mistake, they're going to jump right on that and make you pay. So anyways, 23, what color Gatorade will be dumped on the winning head coach? Now, honestly, I'd say the favorites right now are red/pink and orange, mainly because red, it's the primary color of the Chiefs and Buccaneers. But orange is also a common Gatorade color that's dumped on the head coach. Another one I could possibly see is yellow/lime/green, because, the Chiefs, their end zone this year, it's going to be yellow as their primary color for the end zone. So honestly, I could see a lime Gatorade shower right over Andy Reid. But anyways, it's going to be red/pink. Who will win Super Bowl MVP? Now, of course, there's 3 options for this: Mahomes, Brady, or other. Now, the reason why that is because, the odds of a non-quarterback winning Super Bowl MVP is pretty low. Quarterbacks, more often than not, are favorites to get that Super Bowl MVP. Now, of course, they had to say Mahomes and Brady instead of QB/other, just to make the decision a little bit harder. But I'm clearly going to give this one to Patrick Mahomes. Even though last year, I don't think he really deserved to be Super Bowl MVP last year. Now, yes, he was a little sloppy in the game. He threw 2 picks. He did throw 2 touchdowns, did have a rushing touchdown, but honestly, I think last year Super Bowl MVP should have went to Damian Williams for his amazing performance, over 100 rushing yards, 2 total touchdowns, including the go-ahead and game-sealing touchdown. So I definitely think it should have gone to him last year. And finally, who will the Super Bowl MVP thank first? God, teammates, family, coaches, other, or none? Now, honestly, it's really going to come down, if it's going to be Mahomes, it's going to come down to teammates/coaches. Now, last year, I made the mistake of saying God, and that was ultimately one of the things that cost me winning my prop bet competition. Damn you, Stellick, for your freaking tiebreaker. You beat me on that. Still kind of salty about that. I'm going to take you down this year, though. Anyways, I'm going to say Mahomes is going to thank teammates first. Alright, so now we are moving on to the hardcore fan section. Now, of course, like I said, many of these questions are repeated, so there's going to be a lot less questions I'm going to be answering on the hardcore fans sheet, just to save you some time. Anyways, so first question is, what will the first score of the game be? Now, of course, since I said the Chiefs have the first ball of the game, I'm going to say it's going to be a pass. Now, the options are pass/sack or run. I'm going to say it's going to be a pass. He's going to look for Travis Kelce on the very first play. That's my prediction. Will there be a score on the first drive of the game? Yes, I said it earlier that the Chiefs, they would score on the opening drive. Of course, it'd be a touchdown. And then they ask which player will score the game's first touchdown. Now, instead of, giving certain players, this is an actual fill-in-the-blank question. Now, I feel like a lot of people, if it's the Bucs, you're probably going to say, Leonard Fournette, Rojo, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Gronk. And if you're on the Kansas City Chiefs side, I feel like a lot of people are going to say either Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, or Clyde Edwards-Helaire. This might be a bit of a shock to you, but I'm going to say Mecole Hardman is going to be the very first guy to score in the game. I think it's going to be a 40-yard bomb to him. It's going to be, Hardman's going to burn the corner, find a way to get to the outside. Mahomes is just going to loft one up, and Hardman's going to run that right in for the touchdown. That's going to be my guess. Following up, what will the first turnover of the game be? The options are interception, fumble, or none. Now, honestly, I think both these quarterbacks are going to make one mistake in this game. So give me the interception, because I think, most of these guys, they're pretty good with ball security. Like Brady, you're not going to see him fumble in the Super Bowl unless he's facing Brandon Graham. Mahomes, he's not really a guy who fumbles. None of these teams are really, fumblers unless you had Shady McCoy. He's probably not going to play, but I say both quarterbacks are just going to throw one interception. Next question is, will either team score 3 consecutive times? Now, of course, if this is the Chiefs offense in their groove when they can score at will, I could say maybe, but honestly, no. Since I'm saying this is going to be a back-and-forth affair, they might, the Bucs, they might get close. I think I have them scoring 2 straight touchdowns, but the Chiefs, they're going to snap that and score that touchdown. So, honestly, I'm going to say no. The next question is, shortest touchdown of the game, will it be over or under 1.5 yards? So will there basically be a goal line touchdown? Honestly, I don't think there's going to be. Because the thing with the Buccaneers, I can see it with the Buccaneers, but the thing with the Chiefs is they don't really score in the red zone that often because they're really dangerous on long deep plays. So if they're outside of the red zone, they score more often on those chances. But yeah. That's pretty much it. Shortest touchdown of the game. I don't think there's really going to be one on the 1 yard line. I'm saying closest they get is to the 3 yard line, and Brady's just going to hand it off to Leonard Fournette. Very next question is, will a defensive or special teams touchdown be scored? I'm saying no to this one because, like, even though I am predicting that there's going to be turnovers, it's going to be like sideline picks. They're not really going to be scoring defensive touchdowns and special teams touchdowns. You can forget about that. It's a new decade in the NFL, and something that I've seen in recent years is that special teams touchdowns have been on the decline, and that's mainly because of player safety. You see a lot more guys calling for fair catches. You see a lot more touchbacks. So honestly, like, maybe Mecole Hardman will have a chance to get a special team score, but honestly, I don't see it happening. All right, so on to the final set of Super Bowl 55 prop bet questions. Starting off with the very next question, who will have more passing yards, Patrick Mahomes, minus 30.5, or Tom Brady? Now, of course, that 30.5 is because Mahomes, it seems kind of clear-cut that he's going to be passing the ball way more than Tom Brady will. I mean, when you look at Brady, he's got a stronger running back attack with Rojo and Leonard Fournette. And Mahomes, his is decent with Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Le'Veon Bell. But honestly, like, and also Darrell Williams. But to be honest, with his running backs, I see them more as, like, pass catchers. So they have to give him that 30.5 just to give Brady a chance. Now, even if you took out the 30.5, I'd say Brady still has a pretty good chance. Now, I remember last year's Super Bowl, Sports Betting Dime, what they had, it was who will have more passing yards, Patrick Mahomes or Jimmy Garoppolo. And for Mahomes, it was minus 100.5. Now, of course, that was pretty obvious because, like, when it comes to Mahomes versus Garoppolo, you got to have that. You got to give it to 100 yards because otherwise Garoppolo wouldn't have a chance. Now, I think the difference between their passing yards last year was 80, so Garoppolo would have won that. But honestly, give me Mahomes on this one. Next, who will have more yards from scrimmage, Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Leonard Fournette? Honestly, this is a pretty tough question, but I'm going to give this one to Leonard Fournette. I'm going to see him doing a lot more damage on the ground. Now, even though last year it was between, like, Raheem Mostert and Damian Williams, I didn't really take into account Damian Williams' impact as a receiver. Now, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I feel like he's not going to get too many touches. He's going to be sharing it a lot with Darrell Williams and Le'Veon Bell. And for Leonard Fournette, I think right now he's proved to be the top back. Like, him and Rojo is going to be splitting, but I think Leonard Fournette's going to be getting more of the touches. Next one, who will have more receiving yards, Kelce or Godwin's plus Gronkowski? So, of course, that wide receiver trio for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it's insane. Like, there's no doubt about that. Now, of course, Kelce, dude, is a do-it-all. He's a do-it-all. Like, he just racks up receiving yards like it's nothing. Now, of course, it's really going to be more like Kelce versus Godwin because Gronk this year, he's been more used as a blocking tight end. He hasn't really been as much of an asset as a pass catcher as he was, say, like when he was at Patriot. I mean, that's pretty obvious. But anyways, I'm going to give this one right to Travis Kelce. Then the next one, who will have more receptions, Tyreek Hill or Mike Evans plus Cameron Brate? Excuse me. I'll be honest, I'm going to give this one to Evans and Brate because I'm going to say Tyreek Hill, he's going to get receptions, but, last time he faced off against the Buccaneers, he had 276 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. So, honestly, I might even give this one to Tyreek Hill, but, I think Evans and Brate, the Buccaneers, they're going to learn from their mistakes. They're going to do a much better job at containing Tyreek Hill because if they try to cover him like how they did at first when they played the Chiefs earlier this year, it's over. But anyways, I'm going to give this one to Evans and Brate. Evans is clear-cut number 1 receiver. He's just completely kicked ass this postseason. I wouldn't say kicked ass because he did really struggle against New Orleans. Only had 1 catch for 3 yards, but it was a touchdown. But against the Packers, he completely broke out. So when he's not being covered by Marshawn Lattimore, I think he's going to break out more. Cameron Brate, he's also a pretty good safety valve. I could honestly see him getting more receptions than Gronk. So, yeah, I'm going to give this one to Evans and Brate. Who will have more sacks, Chris Jones or Jason Pierre-Paul? I'm going to give this one to Jason Pierre-Paul out of sympathy because his finger situation. But honestly, there might not be many sacks this game. Honestly, I'm going to give it a solid 3 sacks. 3 sacks is what one would say is going to happen in this game. Both these teams have very strong O-lines. Like, they have decent front sevens, but the O-lines are just too good. You're not going to be seeing many sacks. The next question is, which will be greater, sacks plus interceptions or touchdown passes? Give me touchdown passes. Like, Brady and Mahomes are just going to be slinging it out all game. And honestly, no doubt. No doubt. There's not really much I'm going to elaborate on that. Of course, the over-under for 56.5 points scored in the game. My actual prediction is the final score will be 31-28 for the Kansas City Chiefs. So that's going to be a final combined score of 59. So yes, once again, my predictions, like, make sure you watch. If you skipped up to this point and you don't know what I'm predicting, go back and just watch what I predicted. But anyways, in a nutshell, I got the Kansas City Chiefs with a 31-28 victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mahomes gets his second ring. Andy Reid gets to enjoy a 4x4 and In-N-Out because, you know, when he won the Super Bowl last year, he says, I'm going to get the biggest cheeseburger you've ever seen. Might even be a double. This year he's going to get probably a 4x4 but at In-N-Out. Even though he really should be in Missouri because, like, that's all the way out in, like, the western parts of the U.S. Anyways, I'm getting way too off topic. On to the outro. And that is going to wrap up my video today. Thank you guys all so much for watching. And honestly, thank you all for sticking around. You know, we have gone through so much. You know, about 4 months ago, 5 months ago, I was just sitting here making week 1 predictions, backwards cap on, and it was just, you know, fun. I was thinking, I wasn't sure if I'd be able to get to this point. I did, and I can't thank you guys enough. You guys have been the supporting load behind this, and you guys are the greatest fans ever. I couldn't ask for anything more. Thank you all for sticking around throughout this predictions video. I'm going to be a little bit more, I'm going to be doing different videos, you know. I'm going to be taking a long break from football. Like, I'll come back with some free agency videos and just, like, off-season recaps, but anyways, if you want to see my postseason predictions video and my Saints recap against the Buccaneers and Bears, links to that will be in the description below. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, comment down below your predictions for this year's Super Bowl. Who do you have winning? Who's your Super Bowl MVP? And yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok at Brendan Suter. Thank y'all for watching. Have a great day. For the last time, Who Dat Nation is out.